I ordered an extra small shirt and I received a size small. This was a group order, so I'm guessing someone else grabbed the extra small. But it's okay because I can resize my shirts. I think it's time that I make a proper pattern for t-shirt sleeves. Because I often resize t-shirts and also change them from men's cut shirts to women's cut shirts, where the sleeves are more like what I have on this t-shirt. But I don't have a pattern paper for that, so every time I reinvent the wheel and I don't get it quite right. So I think it's time to do this right. So I'm going to use this shirt as a template and try to transfer that into a pattern. So I'm just trying to feel where the seam is. That's the hardest part, because I have to do that pretty much via transparency, and I can see that I've already strayed. Yeah, so this is where the seam is. Now this goes underneath. And I can trace the rest of the sleeve. This would be a straight line because it goes on the fold at the shoulder, and then I'll kind of try and stretch this out. That's the sleeve without any seam allowance or anything. It's half of it. There's a hole here. I'm trying to look at what the right of grain is, and this is the straight of grain. Straight of grain is here. And now I have to include seam allowances. So there's going to be a seam allowance right down here. This is the underarm. So I do want to add probably a centimeter there for seam allowance. That's generous. I can always cut off the excess. Here I also need a seam allowance. And here I need a seam allowance for the edge, and that one takes more. It's 1.5 centimeters. So that's the pattern. I have no idea whether it works or not. So here's the sleeves that I took off from the shirt, and I will not cut this from this fabric. So I need to go and find if I have some t-shirt fabric or really any other type of scrap fabric, and do a test run and see how this pattern works. side by side with the t-shirt, and one thing that I knew would happen was it wouldn't work at the bottom. The shirt, the armhole opening on this black shirt is smaller than it is on the white shirt. Plus I was stretching when I drew this, so I think this sleeve is a little oversized. The armholes are, I'm gonna try. They're okay without the sleeve. Not a lot of room, but enough. So I'll see how they feel after I've attached the sleeve. So that's one of the tests that I need to do. So if I want to keep the armholes as it is, then it means that the seam, the sleeve has to end here. So I'm gonna, actually I should mark where I saw the seam should be here. So I'm gonna stitch along this line. Stitch along this line and see how it works when I try to set the sleeve in. So I'm going to work all of this in based stitching, and I've changed the bobbins on my machine to be contrasting. The bottom bobbin is red and the top one is yellow, just what I happen to have lying around that was contrasting to both black and reasonably contrasting to white. Next time, we'll cut the sleeves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like.